Every Easter, fridges are filled up with this fragrant golden dish. Sweet, tangy, spiced fish that only gets better with time. But this isn't just food, it's history in a bowl. And today I'm making Cape Malay pickled fish the proper way. So, let's get stuck in. So, why proper? Well, the first thing is we got some lovely fresh hake from Fish for Africa. Môre, môre. Môre vir die mense daar in die wêreld. Thank you very much. Daar's baie dankie, nee. Lekker dag verder. Bye bye. Yeah, fresh hake. Smells of the sea. Okay. So, you can use normal hake that you buy in a store as well, just dry it off properly. We got these incredible spices by a lady called Hashifa, and she's been dealing in spices for over 25 years, and these are proper Cape Malay flavors that she's given us, and some amazing insight into the ingredients that goes into it, and this beautiful blend of Malay spices. And this is the pickled fish. So
that is for you people, eh?
Yeah, okay, no, fantastic.
Okay.
We're going to buy some ingredients for some lovely pickled fish that we're going to make today.
Is this enough for your Cape Malay?
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you make a curry with the Cape Malay,
Yeah.
for the kilos on your recipe,
Yes.
2 tablespoons. Eh?
Okay, 2 tablespoons. No, fantastic.
Okay.
Good, thank you so much.
Anytime.
So let's get started on the fish. So as you can see, it's still got its skin on. So I don't like the skin, so I'm going to take the skin off. If you want to leave the skin on, you're welcome to. Let's just get the skin off. So get your knife just separated under the skin and the flesh, just so you can get in there. Make sure your knife is nice and sharp. And we want a good part to hold onto. So that's going to be the part that we want to hold onto. Quite tight, right? Then get your knife underneath there and cut as close to the fish at a 45-degree angle and the skin, making sure that you are still cutting it right, and that is, you're just taking the skin off and that you're not cutting into the fish. Right, just slide your knife through it. Alright, there we go. And you should be just left with this skin. Let's cut our hake in medallion sized pieces. So, about that size, right? That's a good size. Alright, and these thin pieces, you can just leave them a little bit longer. Fantastic! We have got 1.2 kilograms of hake, and that is the perfect amount of hake with the perfect amount of seasoning and liquids that we're going to mix together. The recipe will always be in the description, so go check it out. So we're going to get this lovely hake floured, and then we're going to get it on the braai. No, just kidding. This dish does not get done on the braai. The braai is for us later. You have to make your pickled fish, and it has to stay in this lovely, beautiful sauce for at least 3 to 7 days. And it can stay in your fridge for up to 2 weeks. You can actually put it in your freezer as well and just freeze it. So we can't eat it, so we can't taste this after we finish it. So we're gonna braai like a chop afterwards for us. So that's why the fire is going. Right, let's get these floured up. Here's about 2 cups of flour. We're going to add some turmeric, about a tablespoon of turmeric. And then, this is where most people make the mistake. Salt your flour, because you want your fish to have salt in the flavor itself. So, good amount of salt. Let's get these mixed in. And you know, this turmeric also gives the hake a lovely color, a beautiful golden color, golden sunrise color. All right, let's get them in there. All around, make sure it's nicely coated. Ah, fantastic. So these flavors, you know, they come from East India, Malaysia, you know, and it's bold spices, but not hot spices. It's not a hot dish like chili wise, it's fragrant dishes. So, you know, the Dutch, they were used to pickling things like herring and so forth, and that's how they preserve their fish and their food for a very long time, with salt and those type of things. But the Malay people changed it into amazing curry flavors with these Malay spices and masala, which just took it a level beyond. So instead of just pickling vinegar, Cape Malay, it's fantastic. And you know, if you take a drive through Cape Town and you go to the Boerkaap, where all these different color houses are, there'll be flavors coming from the houses along there, because a lot of the tannies there make Cape Malay food for the tourists. They're all done. Now we can get them in the oil, get them fried up to that golden crispiness. All right, so I had my little taste, my tester there. You can see it's frying, and this is a shallow fry. And you know, you want to get them completely done, so it takes around about 5 minutes on each side, depending on the heat. You don't want to burn them, you want goldy color to them. So while that's going, and I'm checking them out, I think it's a time saver to start with these onions. So we've got 1.5 kilograms of onions, 1.5 kilograms of onions with 1.2 kilograms of fish. Yep, this is predominantly loved by everyone if you put the enormous amount of onions in there. Really, some people say what makes this dish is the onions and not the fish. So let's cut it in rings. So that's like around about 1/2 centimeter. But you know what? If you get a big chunk of onion in this dish as well, it's absolutely fine. As long as it's nice, got a bit of a crisp, got a bit of a bite to it, it's going to be fantastic. All right, I think that's gone for 5 minutes. Let's give them a flip. Yeah, that's a nice color. I like that color. All right, swap them over. Guys, and you know, if you're going to make this dish, like, make for the family, right? Don't just make for yourself. It's a family dish, this. It's an Easter dish that you spend with your family. Imagine how nice it would be if you have a nice little bakkie with the lovely onions and the sauce, and you give it to your folks as a gift. I love it. All right, another 5 minutes on that side. Right, so it's been going for 5 minutes on that side as well. Now look, the important thing is, don't just take it for granted that it's going to be right. Get it out there, put it on your table or your chopping board. Take a look. Look at that. Lovely. You can see it's done. It's not pink inside anymore. That's a chef's taste apart. That's the nice thing about cooking, right? You get to taste these things. So you can see, that's perfect. Let's take it out. And this is lightly battered, right? You can go and add maizena, maybe 2 tablespoons of maizena, then it gets nice and crispy. But like, what's the point of it being crispy if you're just going to soak it in sauce anyways, right? So you want a nice light batter for this specific dish. Let's get the rest of the guys in there. Well, why pickled fish for Easter? Well, traditionally people didn't eat meat on the Friday, so they had a lovely pickled fish that was preserved during a long period of time, and that the tannies didn't have to make any food on the weekend, because the longer you leave it, the better it gets. All right, let's take a look at these guys. Oh yeah, they've actually got a better color on than the last ones, and that's absolutely fine. Color is always good, right? And look at this color. Beautiful yellow, golden, sunshine color. I mean, that just makes the appeal of the dish so much more, right? If you get a dish that's brown, it's just not appealing. So color is so important in food. We've got our last onion. Flippin' hell, I've got a mound of onion here. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, holy smoke, this is like too much onion. But we followed a famous recipe. So we're going to stick to that recipe and we're going to chop this amount of onions. All right, Done. Now it's just the fish and making a lovely sauce. So we've got another batch to go here. While that is going, I'm just going to take these onions, separate them into this bowl. Let's get these guys out. Also got a beautiful color, beautiful fry to them. I couldn't get these last guys in there, so they are being specially treated. Apparently these are special pieces that want to be alone in the frying pan. So we'll treat them as such. Enjoy yourselves, alone. Alright. Okay, finally. So let's get our big pot on so we can get our vragload of onions in there. So we're going to start with our incredible pickling sauce. And generally, you would take your spices and you would put them in the pan and you would toast them off and those aromatics will be released. And you would fry your onions. This is not that recipe. This is not a curry. This is pickling. So for pickling, we don't do any of that, right? We put our liquids in and we boil our onions and boil our spices in there. Crazy, hey? 1.5 cups of water. But it's pickling, that's what it is. Some vinegar on the hand to clear any germs. And 1.5 cups of brown spirit vinegar. This is what gives it that tang, right? This is what sets it apart. And then we add our sugar, 1 cup of white sugar. Get everything in there. 3 teaspoons of peppercorns, 6 allspice berries, and 7 bay leaves. Sounds like a Christmas song, right? No, 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 no. But this is Easter. And here we've got 3 teaspoons of coriander seeds, 2.5 tablespoons of fish masala, and 2.5 tablespoons of Cape Malay spice. Get in there. And then 2 tablespoons of salt. And a partridge in a pear tree. Something like that. I don't even know that Christmas song properly. Alright, give that a stir until our sugar has dissolved. Alright, once it's up to a boil, let's get those onions in. This seems like a lot, right? But this is what pickled fish is all about. You want the onions. Okay. I don't think I've ever had such a pot that's overflowing with onions. So that goes for around about 10 minutes until you see the onions are nicely coated and they still got a bit of a crunch. You know, you don't want them soft, very soft. You want to have a bit of a bite there. So let it go for 10 minutes. All right, as you can see, the onions themselves have released liquid. So don't worry that there's not enough liquid in the pot. There is. Just make sure that every onion now gets boiled and gets coated in that lovely sauce. If you want to add a little bit of thickness to your sauce, then just take 2 tablespoons of, or a tablespoon really, depending on how thick you want it. So rather go less than more, right? So here we've got 2 tablespoons and just about a 1/4 cup of cold water. So this is a slurry to thicken up your sauce. Wow, looking delicious. And the smell is incredible. And you have to give it a taste, right? Sweet, tangy, full of flavor, a lot of body. But the tanginess and the combination of the Malay flavors is incredible. The only thing I would say is, it is a touch runny, right? So I am going to add half of this. Let's get half of that in there, mixed in. And really, this is just to thicken up the sauce, right? Oh, look how golden and syrupy. and glossy that is. Look at that. That's what you're looking for in a sauce. Eh? Wow. Okay. It is almost ready. 2 minutes and then we can dish it all up. So let's get some onion in the bowl. That bottom layer. All right. And then let's get some beautiful hake in there. Fresh hake. It's smelling incredible. I mean, you know, you can use any type of fish that you like. Hake for me is the best. It's got a lovely soft texture. It goes down magnificently with this dish. A layer of onions. Now a lovely layer of hake again. I'm going to be the hit of the family. Het jy Jason se pickled fish geproe? Dit is die beste. Okay. Well, if you want to also be that son-in-law, that has got this famous recipe, then well, do this. Or I mean, if you're the daughter-in-law, right? Oh wow, what am I saying? I mean, if you the kids, whatever, you want to make this dish properly, and it's made proper, beautiful Cape Malay flavors, layered pickled fish. Oh well, layered fish. True, authentic taste. I mean, that's what we want. Here we go. And now, the last bit of onion and sauce. Look at that. I couldn't be more happier with this. I mean, beautiful, incredible. I love this. This is going to taste so fantastic, and I can't wait to get stuck in. But can you believe it? I can't. So 3 to 7 days we have to wait till all that lovely sauce absorbs into the fish and it becomes the perfect Cape Malay pickled fish, and then we can only taste it. So we'll let that do its thing, and then we'll taste it and we'll let you know how it tastes after 3 days. In the meantime, I'm going to get stuck into our afternoon braai. Cheers. Oh wait, and don't forget to subscribe and enjoy our channel, enjoy our videos, and click like and subscribe. See you in the next 3 days. Cheers. Lunch. Lekker. Wow, that is looking fantastic. Well, it's been 3 days later. I've been saving myself for this incredible tasting. So let's get it in the plate. Without further ado, I want to get some down at the bottom. Oh, that looks like a nice piece. Lovely. We need to get some of those onions. Put some of those lovely onions on that we were talking about. Here we go. All right. Man, oh man, the smell and the color. It's fruity. It's got this amazing, amazing smell. All right, let's give it a taste. Look at that. That's delicious. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When onions are still crispy or crunchy, onions are still crunchy. The freshness of the fish, you can definitely taste it. It's quite soft, but firm. It's held its shape together. The Cape Malay flavors are so intense. They're so rich. Like I say, it's fruity. It's not burny at all. It's got a lovely flavor, golden deliciousness. And you know, this dish transcends all cultures. Everyone loves this type of dish. Better than any supermarket can make, for sure. So, wishing you and your family a blessed Easter. Cheers.